So for me, I have this thing in my life that I look at as well, and I was mentioning to you that, look, the power is in the waiting. You know, the power is in the waiting. So what am I talking about? Like, I mean, you take the seed, you stick it into dirt, and right, we call it soil. But I mean, this thing starts to grow, but it doesn't grow overnight. You know, it doesn't. You don't put the seed in the ground and if it's an apple seed, tomorrow you got apples. You don't have that. Right? So I mean, the power's in the waiting. That thing's got to transform from a seed. It's got to take some sort of roots, and then this thing grows into some sort of stem. And there's a period, and in this period of planting the seed to getting the fruit, within that period there are little other periods. And each of those little periods, there's a waiting time. There's a waiting period. You know, but in that waiting period, there's this time for transformation that occurs. And there, for me, lies the key. So if you just look at it from seed to fruit, a lot of us are very much in a hurry. And we want the fruit. But we forget that there's transformation that needs to take place. So, I mean, even in life, you can take anything in your life. Whether you're starting a new career, whether you're starting a business like yourself. Many years ago, you've done that. And if you look at, from what happened then to where you are right now, there's been changes, there's been transformation, there's been maturing. Everything has this little period. And what I was sharing with you is that some people go through some time of isolation in their life. And when they look at that isolation, they say, "Oh, I'm all alone." But that's your waiting period. That's what I see it. That's your waiting period. That's your time for, your character, your new skill, your new outlook on life. That time of transformation that's happening. So, my advice. I'm in no position to give anyone advice, but if you're willing to listen to it, ride it out. Welcome the transformation, welcome the waiting period. For me as well, if I just look at weight loss journey, that didn't happen within 1 month. That took many months, but you just gotta so I know someone who's gotten quite into gardening, for example, but he's got this massive area, and it was just like a wasteland. But I mean, week in, week out, him and his family, they're busy digging, they planting new things, they're busy, and even over this last couple of months now, I'm starting to notice a change, not only in his physique, but I mean just being a little bit more willing to move. Also his focus, so his ability to focus for much longer. Like, that's what I discovered as well with myself. For example, when it comes to work-wise, I can really sit down and focus for hours on end. I promise you. Like, I can just, like that. Before, it was like, hours gone by, let me go have another cup of coffee. Maybe I should have something to snack on now, or whatever the case may be. Since, been running, it's just like, I can really just focus. So it has a lot of impacts on the body, on the brain, on your mood, all of those things, without you even planning for those things. You just start to notice it after a while, like, oh wow, like 3 hours have gone by and I'm still able to like really dial into what I'm doing. I never knew that was going to be a side effect, but it's there. Yeah, unintended consequence. So it's there, wasn't planned for. So it's like just a whole lot of cool things that happen, and you get to have fun and you get to go places you've never been to before. Like, for example, a lot of the times, a couple of us will just get together and say, okay, well, what's happening? Okay, we're driving out to, Franschhoek or wherever the case would be, and we're just going to go do a run out there, and ordinarily you would have been, still tucked in under your blankets on a cold winter's morning, and there we are. Guys were doing that yesterday morning, actually. I was planning to run with him, but I did my own thing here before heading through the front trip. But it's so cool, you know. It just takes you out of your comfort zone. It takes you off the couch. Yeah,